All right, what's going on, everybody? In this video, I'm going to give you the top three neighborhoods in Salem, Massachusetts. Now, I always get messages of all the time, really, of people that are looking to move to the North Shore, and a lot of times, specifically Salem, Mass. That's where I currently live. I have a lot of knowledge within the North Shore and Greater Boston because that's where I currently serve. Because I've been flooded with questions about Salem specifically, I'm going to make a video on the top three neighborhoods in Salem. I'm also going to make videos. I'm going to basically branch out. I'm going to start with Salem and I'm going to do a lot of the surrounding towns and just a lot of the towns in Greater Boston in general. If there's any town specifically that you'd like more information on and would like me to do a video on sooner, feel free to comment down below or reach out and I can absolutely do that. If you have any specific questions about anything that I don't mention in the video, again, you can always reach out to me or put a comment down below. I'll also leave my email if that's easier for you. But other than that, let's get started on the video. Top three neighborhoods in Salem, Massachusetts. All right, so we're going to start at the Chestnut Street District. As you see right here, this is the Chestnut Street District, which is right in the heart of downtown Salem. Now, this area, there is actually a street called Chestnut Street that you'll see right underneath where it says Chestnut Street District, and that is sometimes referred to as the street of architects. It has a collection of just these amazing, well preserved federal style homes, and as you see the drive through, as I do the neighborhood drive through after, you'll really get an idea of what it is I'm talking about with these homes. This area is one of the best neighborhoods in Salem because it's just filled with history, it's filled with architecture. You'll find the Phillips House, which is right here. You'll find Hamilton Hall. All of these are just amazing buildings with a rich history. And if you're able to find somewhere to live in this neighborhood, it can get a little more expensive than other areas in Salem, only because you're basically right in the middle of history. You're right in the heart of downtown. The pros of living in this area is that the houses tend to appreciate pretty nicely. And if you're someone who appreciates history and you get to live right in the middle of it, that's also a really good pro. You're also close to downtown where they have all the restaurants, all the hotels, all the stores, all the grocery shops, pretty much anything you need. And again, in the video, you'll see what I'm talking about. Now, some of the cons is that because it's so close to downtown, once September hits and towards mid November, it really is hard to get in and out due to all the tourists. It's hard to find some parking because of, again, all the tourists. So that is something to consider when you're living in this area. But nonetheless, it's still a great neighborhood. And because the commuter rail is probably, I don't know, a quarter mile from the Chestnut District, some people in the area don't even have cars. So that may not even be a problem. So, you know, the city has made a lot of effort to kind of preserve a lot of the architecture in this area of Salem. And so some concerns I hear, people don't want to move into something like this where they have amazing houses, a lot of amazing architecture, and then kind of get developed out. But the city puts a lot of measures in place in order for that to not happen. So if that's a concern of yours, that's definitely not something that I would worry about. This neighborhood's also really nice because when we get to Halloween, you have a lot of the kids, local kids, walk through Chestnut Street and a lot of the other streets, getting candy. And the locals within these neighborhoods, especially in the Chestnut Street district, they're very friendly and they sit outside. They put big baskets of candy and they interact with everyone. And Chestnut Street district is number one on my list on top neighborhoods in Salem, Massachusetts. So let's get into the drive through so you can get a visual of what it is I'm talking about and a feel for the neighborhood. All right, so here we go. We're coming to the Chestnut Street district. Now you can already see here to my right, you have the Gambrell style homes, you have the Federal style homes. That right there is the perfect visualization of what Chestnut Street is. Now I won't be talking the entire time I drive through. I just want you guys to know that Chestnut Street is very much known for its architecture, its history, and I want you to make sure you pay attention to the buildings, the roofs, the windows, and it really is magnificent and something to appreciate. So I'm just going to let you guys enjoy the drive tour for now, and I will be back in a second. Okay, so now that you have a bit of what the Chestnut Street and Chestnut Street district feels like, I'm going to keep driving through downtown so you can get a visualization of just how close downtown is to the Chestnut district and how you basically are in downtown when you live in the Chestnut district and you have pretty much everything you need. So, once we pull up here to this next light, you are basically in downtown. As you can see, it's one of the busiest parts of the city. To my right, where that car is turning right, you have the post office. Over there, you have a plaza with Starbucks and everything that you need. If you take a left, you go towards all the restaurants. And I'm going to keep on going straight so you can really see as we go down these next couple streets, which is Derby Street. You'll see everything that's available to you within walking distance, or you can, of course, drive if you'd like. But um, pay attention. There's a lot of things around here that some people love having, and it's sort of an amenity of living within the Chestnut Street district. All right, so I hope you were able to get a feel for the neighborhood and everything you need to know about Chestnut Street District. I don't want to make this video too long, so that's why I am not going on to a giant tangent about the neighborhood. I'm going to just giving you the pros and cons, a feel for the area, and then I'm moving on to the next one. So if you have any more specific questions, again, just comment it down below. And we're going to go on to number two, which is the Gallows Hill neighborhood. So Gallows Hill neighborhood, I've actually sold a good amount of homes in this area. This area here, you can see right here is Gallows Hill Park and Mars Park. This is a great neighborhood for families, right? Um, this is also one of the places where the infamous witch trials took place. So pretty much anywhere in Salem has a rich history. But when you get to Chestnut Street and Gallows Hill neighborhood, these are some of the places that are home to a lot of this history. This here is more of a family neighborhood. You're further away from downtown. You're near most of the schools. You're near the hospital. You can look over here to the right. You actually have Salem Hospital, Highland Hall at Salem Hospital, the dentist. You have Salem High School right here, which is not far at all from the neighborhood. You also have Collins Middle School, which is right down the street. I don't think we can see it on the map, but it's um, right here. So the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Salem is actually now at the high school. So this right here is where you'll find the high school. So if you're someone who wants to live in a more family community, you have the Witchcraft Heights Elementary School, which is the main elementary school. It's where most of the kids go. Salem has about 3 or 4 different elementary schools. This one being, I would say, the most popular. And it's a fantastic elementary school. You have a daycare right here. So again, if you are looking to live in Salem and you're looking for a neighborhood that's more family friendly, Not a lot of drive-through streets, not a lot of cars, not a lot of traffic. It's a little more quiet. It's more suburban. This is definitely the area for you. If you want your kids to walk to school, if you want your kids to just be able to play outside without any problems, this is an absolutely great neighborhood. Um, in my drive through, this one's going to be shorter than most only because my camera actually died as I drove through this neighborhood. Nonetheless, you're still going to get a good feel for the neighborhood. In this area, compared to Chestnut Street District, the homes are tighter. The homes tend to be a little smaller. You don't really get much yard space. You don't really get much parking off street. When you get to the Gallows Hill neighborhood, you definitely get more driveways, more backyard space. And now this neighborhood is also really cool because you have a mixture of, I guess, more modern homes. And by modern, I mean, the kind of cookie cutter homes you see nowadays. And you also have some historic homes, some older homes that people have been able to kind of preserve throughout the years in this neighborhood. But again, as I drive through, you'll kind of see what I'm talking about. I plan on driving through past the hospital, past the high school, so you could really get an idea. It's all pretty much within a quarter-mile radius from this neighborhood. So unfortunately, I couldn't capture that because my camera did die. But as you can see on the map, Gallows Hill Park, Witchcraft Heights, you have another park over here. You have Salem Youth Soccer plays over here. You have the vet hospital, Collins Middle School, Salem High School. It's all within the same area. You have a golf course right down here on Wilson Street, same street as the high school. So if you are a family and you're looking to live in Salem, Mass, this is definitely most likely the neighborhood you'd want to end up in. Again, I know I've said this many times already, but this video is going to be shorter due to my camera dying,
So
but you're
just to
still
give
going to
you
get a
context,
feel
right now
for
we're
what the
driving on
neighborhood is like.
Wilson
So let's get
Street,
into it.
which is one of the main roads in Salem, Massachusetts. Now, to the right is where you will actually find a dentist, and you'll also find a couple other, like real estate companies and anything like that. Now we're gonna go straight past this light, but if you take a left here, right on the corner, is actually Salem High School, and that's the main high school. There's only one high school in town, really, and then there's one charter school. But again, we're gonna go straight past it. That's just to give you context of where you're at. We are going to take a right here on Valley Street, and now we were already in the Gallows Hill neighborhood, but now we're really getting into the main neighborhood. And I'm just gonna let you guys take it in and kind of get a feel for the neighborhood. But just wanted to give you context of where on Wilson Street we were and the correlation from the schools to the neighborhoods.
All right, so again, I'm sorry for that video being shorter. I hope you were still able to get the gist of it. And we are going to go now into third and final neighborhood, Juniper Point. Now, Juniper Point, as I pull it up on the map, you can probably now tell why it's one of the more popular neighborhoods because it's right on the harbor, right? It's located right on the water. It's located right near Salem Willows Park, which is a huge tourist attraction. And it's also very family friendly. You have the yacht club up here. You have Salem Willows Park. You have Dead Horse Beach, which is a nice little beach. Again, you have a lot around here, but it's right on the water, and that's kind of the appeal for most people that live in the area. You also have a lot of walking trails. You have a lot of, I wouldn't say hiking trails, but you can go to Winter Island, and they have a lot of trails in there that you can kind of explore. You actually won't find any like massive homes on the water. Salem typically doesn't get too expensive. Like you won't really find too many $2 million homes in Salem, Massachusetts. It's not really that kind of town. You branch out to Beverly, Manchester, Swampscott, those towns. You can find homes that range 5, 6, 7, $8 million. That's not Salem. So Juniper Point is nice and it's by the water, but it's kind of affordable. Now it is affordable, but people typically don't tend to move out of this area. A lot of people that live in the area have lived in this area for a long time, and they typically tend to pass it down to their children, and the homes tend to stay within the family for generations. So this being one of the more desirable neighborhoods, it's also, I don't want to say exclusive, but um, it definitely is an area that's hard to get into. But if you're someone who likes beaches, who likes to be on the water, who likes walking and trails, and it's also pretty private over there. I know you're near Salem Willows Park, and there's always stuff going on, but there's a lot of privacy back there, and it's just a great place to live. Now, keep in mind that as I zoom out here, you'll be able to tell that Juniper Point is here. Everything else that goes on, and by everything I mean the schools, the restaurants, downtown, it's all probably a mile and a half to 2 miles away at least. So if you have kids, if you have children, and ideally you'd want to be closer to their schools, closer to their dentists, closer to their daycare, closer to downtown, this is not the place that you'd want to live in. It's on the water. There's a lot of hiking trail. If you're someone who's naturey, for lack of a better word, this is probably where you want to live. But if you have a family and for sake of ease, you want to be closer to everything that would make your life easier, and so you probably would have moved to Juniper Point, and that's one of the cons of this neighborhood. Let's get into the video, and I can give you an idea of Juniper Point.
All right, so before I let you go enjoy this drive-through tour, right now we are on Derby Street. To our right is actually the Friendship, which is a very famous ship that's actually docked right here in Salem, Massachusetts. Right now we're on Derby Street, one of the most historical streets, not just in Salem, but in the entire country. And you will find anywhere from small gift shops, flower shops. The House of Seven Gables is on Derby Street, and this is on our way to Juniper Point. So I want you to get an idea of what your ride home would look like if you were to move to Juniper Point. Now, it's important that I point out to our right is actually Bates Elementary School, which I'm pretty sure was converted to a charter school. So it's now K through 8, if I'm not mistaken. So there is a school nearby. Now, we are now in Juniper Point, and you can see here that there are some homes that, of course, are not on top of each other. A lot of Cape style homes, a lot of these homes here that are right on the water. And they also have some yard space, which is nice if you live in the area. But you can see here some of these homes to the right are built up on ledge, which is nice because you get a good view of the water. Now, as we make our way up this road right here, on the way down is where we actually start to get into Salem Willows. So I'm going to drive through Salem Willows. I'm going to make a quick loop so you can get an idea of what Salem Willows looks like and is like, as well as Dead Horse Beach, which is right up ahead. And then I'll drive through the neighborhood, and from there you'll be able to get a feel for the neighborhood and kind of a context of where things are.
All right, so there it is, Juniper Point. Hope you were able to get an idea of the neighborhood and the feel for it. And I hope this whole video in general was helpful. Now, if you like this video, again, please make sure to like the video. When you like and subscribe, it tends to push the video to more people that are looking for this type of information. And all I want to do is just help people out and help them make an informed decision on where they want to move, whether it's Salem, Peabody, Marblehead, Beverly, Swampscott, and anywhere in the North Shore or Greater Boston. I want to make sure that people looking for that information get it, and just a simple like will definitely help me do that. Now, again, if you have any specific questions on anything that I talked about in this video, please make sure to reach out. I have no problem answering any questions. You can comment, you can send me an email. We get people asking us questions all the time. It takes me 2 seconds to just send an email back and give you any information you need. Whether you're looking to rent or buy in the North Shore or Greater Boston, I can help you just make an informed decision. 1 year, 2 years from now, whenever it is, it doesn't matter. Reach out anytime, and I'm happy to talk through anything. So, thanks for watching this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.